Welcome to Native Flow English. I am so glad you are here today. If you are new to this channel, this is the place where English learning meets powerful life lessons. Before we dive in, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters here, and I want to hear from you. Now, let us begin. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to rise above the ordinary and build fortunes that change the world? Why is it that one person can start with almost nothing, while another, starting with the same tools, remains stuck in place? The answer, my friend, is not always luck. It is often a set of hidden patterns, decisions, and strategies that the rich use, patterns that can be seen, studied, and even practiced. Today, we will explore these secrets together. Here is the hook. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at a valley of opportunities. Most people step back in fear. But billionaires, those visionaries we read about, they leap. They leap not because they are fearless, but because they understand something that most of us overlook. They understand how to turn risk into reward, how to see a chance where others see a wall. That is what we are going to talk about today. Let us start with one powerful idea. Vision. Think about Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. In the 1990s, the internet was still new. Most people used it to send emails or read simple web pages. But Bezos looked further. He asked himself, what if the internet could become the world's largest marketplace? While others saw only a small wave, he saw an ocean. This is what vision looks like. It is the ability to see the invisible before others notice it. Now pause for a moment. What about you? Do you sometimes catch yourself imagining a better future? Do you see possibilities where others see nothing? Write in the comments. If you could create one big idea for the world, what would it be? I want to know your vision. But vision alone is not enough. The rich also master the art of action. Think of Elon Musk. He dreamed of electric cars, reusable rockets, and a future on Mars. Many laughed at him. Some said it was impossible. But while they were laughing, he was building. His strategy is clear. Take massive action. Even when success is uncertain, he pushes forward, failing again and again, but never stopping. That is another secret of wealth, turning dreams into action. No matter how hard the road may be, as English learners, you can apply this lesson to your own journey. Learning English is like building a business. You can dream of speaking fluently, of traveling, of connecting with people around the world. But unless you act, unless you practice, listen, and speak daily, your vision stays only a dream. So I ask you, what small action will you take today to bring your dream of fluent English closer to reality? Comment below and share your step. Another secret is the ability to think long-term. Many people want quick results. They want success overnight. But billionaires often play a different game. Warren Buffett, one of the richest investors in history, is famous for his patience. He invests in businesses not for 1 month or 1 year, but for decades. He once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. His strategy is simple yet powerful. Think long-term, wait, and let time build your fortune. This is a lesson not only for money, but for life and language learning too. If you expect to master English in 1 week, you will be disappointed. But if you give yourself time, if you stay patient and practice steadily, you will succeed. It is the same principle the rich use for wealth, and you can use it for your growth. Now, here is something fascinating. Many billionaires are not only dreamers or investors. They are learners. They read, they study, Bill Gates, even after becoming the richest man on earth, still spends hours reading every day. He calls reading his superpower. Why? Because knowledge compounds. Every book, every article, every conversation adds a layer of insight and insights. When combined, lead to opportunities. Think about it. You are here right now, listening, practicing English, and learning life lessons at the same time. You are not just improving your language skills, you are building your mental wealth. The more you learn, the richer your mind becomes, and one day, this knowledge may open doors you cannot yet imagine. So let me ask you, what is the last book you read? Or the last video you watched that truly changed the way you think? Write your answer in the comments. By sharing, you may inspire someone else in this community. As we move forward in this series, we will go deeper into these secrets, risk-taking, focus, persistence, and the hidden daily habits of the rich. Each part will not only give you stories of billionaires, but also connect those lessons to your journey of learning English and building a better life. Stay with me. In the next part, we will uncover how billionaires turn failures into stepping stones, and why what looks like a mistake to most people becomes gold in their hands. This will be a story worth listening to, and I promise it will make you see your own struggles differently. Before we end this first part, remember, like this video, subscribe to Native Flow English, and comment below with your thoughts. What do you believe is the most important secret of the rich? Vision, action, patience, or learning? I cannot wait to read your answers. Now, let us continue. Part 2 is coming next. In the first part, we talked about vision, action, patience, and the love of learning. If you missed it, I encourage you to go back and listen. It will help you understand today's story even better. And before we begin, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your comments help me create a community where we all learn and grow together. Now, let us dive into one of the most fascinating secrets of the rich. How they use failure as fuel for success. Most people fear failure. They see it as the end of the road. But billionaires, leaders, and great thinkers see failure differently. For them, failure is not a wall. It is a door, a painful, sometimes embarrassing door, but one that opens to new opportunities. The rich understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Let me take you into a story. Imagine a young man in China applying for 30 jobs. He applies to work at a local police station, rejected. He tries at KFC, rejected again. Out of 24 people who applied, 23 were hired. He was the only one who was not. For most people, this would be the end. For him, it was the beginning. That man's name is Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. Today, Alibaba is one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Jack Ma's secret was simple. He refused to let rejection define him. He transformed failure into resilience. Instead of saying, "I am not good enough," he asked, "What can I learn from this?" And slowly, he built an empire. Now, let us connect this lesson to you. As an English learner, have you ever felt embarrassed when you made a mistake? Maybe you tried to speak and the words came out wrong. Maybe you listened to a conversation and you understood nothing. That feeling is rejection. But what if you use Jack Ma's approach? What if, instead of feeling ashamed, you said, "This is my door. This is my step forward." Every mistake in English is not a failure. It is proof that you are learning. So let me ask you a question. Write your answer in the comments. What is one mistake in English that you made recently, and what did you learn from it? Do not be shy. Your story may inspire someone else who is struggling right now. Another great example comes from Steve Jobs. When he was young, he co-founded Apple, but in a shocking twist, he was fired from his own company. Imagine creating something, pouring your heart into it, and then being told, you are no longer needed here. For most people, that would destroy their spirit. But Jobs later said, getting fired from Apple was the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because it freed him to explore new ideas. He started another company called Next and bought a small animation studio that later became Pixar. Years later, Apple invited him back, and together, they created the iPhone, the iPad, and many of the products we use today. The lesson here is powerful. Failure can be a seed for future success. Jobs could have given up. Instead, he transformed failure into creativity. Think about your own journey. Maybe you failed a test. Maybe you gave up on practicing English for months. Maybe you felt too afraid to speak. These are not the end of your story. They are chapters, and every chapter prepares you for the next one. Just like Jobs' rejection prepared him for the iPhone, your mistakes may be preparing you for fluency. Let me share one more perspective. Elon Musk once said, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. This tells us something important. If you never fail, it may mean you are not pushing yourself hard enough. You are staying safe, but safe choices rarely lead to great success. The rich push beyond comfort. They know failure will hurt, but they also know it will teach. So here is another question for you. Would you be willing to fail more often if it meant learning faster? Think about it. Comment below with your honest answer. Now, let us connect this back to language learning once again. Every time you open your mouth to speak English, you take a risk. You risk being wrong. You risk sounding strange. But in that risk lies the reward of fluency. Billionaires risk money. You risk words. And both risks, if taken seriously, lead to growth. So, here is my challenge for you. In the next 24 hours, speak English at least once. Even if you feel afraid, say something simple. Order a coffee. Introduce yourself to someone, or record your voice and listen to it. It does not matter if you make mistakes. In fact, making mistakes is the goal, because each mistake is a teacher. In the next part of this series, we will explore another secret of the rich: focus. Why do billionaires cut out distractions and guard their time like treasure? And how can you, as an English learner, use the same strategy to reach fluency faster? I promise it will open your eyes. Before we close, remember, like this video, subscribe to Native Flow English, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, do you see failure as a wall or as a door? Your perspective matters, and your answer could change the way someone else sees their own struggles. Stay tuned. Part 3 is coming soon. Failure teaches us resilience, but once we learn how to stand up again, what comes next? The answer is focus. If failure gives you strength, focus gives you direction. Without it, energy scatters. With it, energy builds like a laser, and that laser can cut through any obstacle. Think about Warren Buffett. He is one of the wealthiest men alive, yet his strategy is surprisingly simple. He once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Imagine that saying no is a strategy. Buffett does not try to do everything. He chooses a few things and then gives them his complete attention. That is focus. Now let us look at Mark Zuckerberg. In the early days of Facebook, he often wore the same grey t-shirt every day. People joked about it, but there was a reason. He wanted to remove small decisions from his life. Why waste time choosing clothes when he could spend that energy building a global platform? That is another form of focus, eliminating distractions to make space for what truly matters. Here is the hook for you. Have you noticed how easily our attention is stolen today? Notifications, social media, endless videos, each one pulling us in a different direction. But billionaires treat their attention like gold. They protect it, they invest it, and they do not give it away freely. So let me ask you, how do you spend your attention? Do you control it, or does it control you? Write your answer in the comments. When it comes to learning English, the same rule applies. Many learners start with excitement. They download apps, buy books, watch videos. But after a week, they lose focus. They get distracted, skip practice, and wonder why they do not improve. The truth is simple. Focus builds fluency. If you give even 20 minutes of deep, focus practice every day, you will see results faster than someone who studies for hours but cannot concentrate. Let us make this real with an example. Imagine two students. One studies English for 3 hours a week, but half the time she is checking her phone, scrolling through social media, or daydreaming. Another studies only 1 hour a week, but in that hour, she gives her full attention, listening carefully, repeating sentences, writing down notes. Who do you think improves faster? Exactly, the second student, because focus multiplies the value of time. Now, take a moment to reflect. What is one distraction in your daily life that steals your time? Could you reduce it, even by a little, and give that time to learning English? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes just naming the distraction is the first step to overcoming it. There is another angle to focus. Persistence. Billionaires do not just focus for 1 day or 1 week. They hold their focus for years. Think about Elon Musk again. Building Tesla was not a weekend project. It took years of struggle, criticism, and near bankruptcy. Most people would have quit, but his focus was unshakable. He believed in the vision of electric cars, and that belief kept his attention fixed. This connects to a key idea. When you have a strong why, focus becomes easier. Why do you want to learn English? Is it for your career, your studies, your travel, or your personal growth? The stronger your reason, the sharper your focus. Without a reason, focus fades quickly. With a reason, focus becomes natural. So here is my question to you. What is your why for learning English? Think deeply about it and write your answer in the comments. Your reason may inspire someone else who is still searching for theirs. Now, let us weave all of this together. Failure taught us resilience. Focus teaches us direction. And when resilience and direction meet, something powerful happens. A momentum. Billionaires ride momentum like surfers ride waves. Once the wave builds, it carries them forward faster than they could ever move alone. In the next part, we will uncover the habits that create momentum, the small, daily choices that billionaires use to build unstoppable growth. And more importantly, we will see how you can use these same habits in your English learning journey. Stay with me, because the next secret may be the most practical one yet. Momentum is powerful, but how is it created? It does not appear out of nowhere. It is built through habits. And if there is one thing the rich and successful understand deeply, it is this: Small daily actions shape big futures. Think of habits as the silent architects of wealth and growth. People often look at billionaires and imagine a single, life-changing decision. But if you study their lives closely, you see something else. You see patterns, you see routines, you see discipline repeated every day until it becomes second nature. Take the example of Bill Gates. Even after reaching success, he never stopped his routine of reading. Every night, he reads for at least an hour. Over time, that adds up to thousands of books, thousands of ideas, and thousands of insights. This habit of reading did not just make him rich in knowledge, it gave him the ability to see connections that others missed. That is the quiet power of daily habits. Or consider Oprah Winfrey. Her mornings begin with silence, reflection, and intention before the noise of the world enters her mind. She takes control of her own energy. This simple morning routine helps her make clearer decisions throughout the day. It shows us that habits are not only about doing more, they are about creating space for clarity. Now, think about your own daily life. How do you start your day? Do you begin with focus and purpose, or do you rush, check your phone, and lose yourself in distraction? Imagine how different your learning journey could be if you created one strong English habit in your morning routine. For example, reading a short article, listening to 5 minutes of English audio, or practicing 3 sentences before breakfast. One small habit, repeated daily, can transform your fluency. Let me ask you directly, if you could add just one English habit to your day, what would it be? Comment below and share your idea. You may inspire someone else to try it too. Habits also show up in time management. The rich understand that time is the only resource that cannot be replaced. Money can be lost and earned again, but one lost hour is gone forever. That is why many billionaires protect their calendars with intensity. They know that saying yes to one thing means saying no to another. This is not just discipline, it is strategy. Think of Elon Musk's schedule. He divides his day into 5-minute blocks. Every meeting, every task is given a precise space. It may sound extreme, but it shows the value he places on time. Now, you do not need to copy his exact method. But what if you blocked even 20 minutes each day for focused English learning without distractions, without interruptions? How much could that change your progress after 1 month, after 1 year? Another powerful habit of the rich is reflection. They take time to think about what worked and what did not. Jeff Bezos often talks about experimenting, testing, and learning from results. This is a habit of reviewing and adjusting. Imagine applying this to your English journey. After each week, you ask yourself, what did I improve? Where did I struggle? How can I do better next week? This kind of reflection turns learning into a smarter, more effective process. And here is something many people forget. Habits are not just about discipline, they are about identity. When you build habits, you are not only changing what you do, you are changing who you believe you are. If you practice English every day, even for 5 minutes, you begin to see yourself not as a student who struggles, but as a speaker who is growing. This shift in identity fuels motivation. So I want to ask you, who do you believe you are becoming as you learn English? Are you becoming more confident, more curious, more disciplined? Share your answer in the comments. Let us return to the bigger picture. The rich build momentum through small, consistent choices. Reading, reflection, focus, protecting their time. These habits, when repeated, become unstoppable, and the same is true for language. You do not need a perfect plan. You need small, repeated steps that turn into a rhythm, a flow, a natural part of your life. Now that we understand habits, the next secret will take us deeper into mindset. Because habits alone are not enough. The richest people in the world carry a mindset that sees abundance where others see limits. They believe in possibilities when others believe in walls, and this mindset changes everything. In the next part, we will uncover the billionaire mindset, the way they think about problems, opportunities, and even failure, and you will see how adopting this mindset can change not only how you learn English, but also how you live your life. Stay with me, because this will be one of the most transformative lessons yet. Habits shape our daily actions, but behind every habit is something even deeper. Mindset, the way you think creates the way you live. And if there is one secret that billionaires protect closely, it is their mindset. Let us begin with the idea of abundance. Most people live with what we call a scarcity mindset. They think there is not enough to go around, not enough money, not enough opportunities, not enough success. But billionaires train themselves to think differently. They see abundance. They believe that wealth, knowledge, and opportunities can be created, not just taken. Take Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. When he sees a problem, he does not think there is no solution. Instead, he asks, how can I create value here? This is the abundance mindset. It does not deny challenges. It simply believes that something good can be built even from difficulty. Now, let us connect this to learning English. A scarcity mindset might say, I am too old to learn. I do not have enough time. My English will never be good enough. But an abundance mindset says, every day gives me a chance to learn one new word. I can create opportunities by practicing. The more I try, the more I grow. This shift in thinking is powerful. Here is a question for you. When you think about your English, do you focus on what you lack or on what you can create? Share your answer in the comments and be honest. Your answer may inspire someone else who feels the same struggle. Now, let us look at another mindset, the growth mindset. This idea comes from psychologist Carol Dweck, but billionaires live it every day. The growth mindset says that skills are not fixed. They can be developed through effort, practice, and persistence. Think of Elon Musk again. He did not start as an expert in rockets. In fact, when he created SpaceX, he had no experience in aerospace, but he read books, studied physics, hired experts, and learned as he went. Today, SpaceX is the first private company to send astronauts to the International Space Station. That is the growth mindset in action. For English learners, this mindset is essential. Many students believe, I am just not good at languages. That is a fixed mindset. But the truth is, anyone can improve with practice. If Elon Musk can learn rocket science, you can learn English. It is not about talent. It is about persistence and curiosity. Now imagine for a moment, what if every mistake you make in English is not proof that you are bad, but proof that you are growing? How would that change the way you study? Let me give you a practical example. Imagine two learners. The first one says, I made a mistake today. I must not be good at English. The second one says, I made a mistake today. That means I learned something new. After 1 year, who do you think will be more fluent? Exactly the second learner, because their mindset keeps them moving forward. Here is another question for you. When you make mistakes in English, what do you usually tell yourself? Do you criticize yourself? Or do you see it as progress? Write your answer in the comments. Now let us go one step deeper. Billionaires often combine abundance and growth mindset into what we can call vision thinking. They do not only solve today's problems, they ask, what is possible 10 years from now? Jeff Bezos built Amazon with the question, what will people need in the future? This mindset allows them to move ahead of everyone else. And here is the connection for you. When you learn English, do not only think about today, think about the future. Imagine yourself 3 years from now confident, fluent, able to work, travel, or build relationships across the world. That vision will push you forward when daily motivation is weak. Mindset is not about pretending everything is easy. It is about choosing the story you tell yourself. The rich tell themselves stories of possibilities, and you can do the same. So here is a reflection for you. What story are you telling yourself about your English journey right now? Is it a story of limits or a story of possibilities? Comment below with one sentence that describes your story as we move forward. Remember this, mindset is the foundation. Without it, habits collapse. With it, habits multiply. And when mindset and habits come together, success is no longer just possible, it becomes inevitable. In the next part, we will explore how billionaires build networks, the power of relationships, mentors, and community. And you will see why no one becomes rich alone, just as no one becomes fluent alone. The people around you shape your journey. Stay with me, because this lesson will show you how to build connections that open doors. Mindset gives us the inner foundation, but even the strongest mindset cannot grow in isolation. Here lies another secret of the rich, the power of networks, mentors, and community. No billionaire builds an empire completely alone. Behind every great success, there are teachers, partners, allies, and even critics who shape the journey. Let us begin with a story. In the early days of Microsoft, Bill Gates was not working by himself. He had Paul Allen, a partner who shared his vision. Together, they coded, brainstormed, and dreamed of bringing computers into every home. Their partnership was not just about dividing tasks. It was about multiplying creativity. One idea sparked another, and the result changed the world. Another example, Warren Buffett often speaks about his mentor, Benjamin Graham. Graham taught him the principles of value investing, the very foundation of Buffett's fortune. Without this mentorship, Buffett may have taken a very different path. A single mentor can shape decades of decisions. And of course, Steve Jobs found inspiration from many people, from engineers who challenged him, to designers who helped turn Apple products into works of art. His brilliance grew stronger because he surrounded himself with people who dared to think differently. Here is the hook for you. Look around at your own life. Who are the people shaping your journey? Are they lifting you higher, or are they holding you back? Because here is the truth. The people you spend time with are like mirrors. They reflect the future you are most likely to create. Now, let us connect this to your English learning. Many learners try to study alone, in silence, with only books or apps. That can help, but growth accelerates when you practice with others. A learning partner, a teacher, or even a supportive community can multiply your progress. When you speak with someone, you do not just practice words, you practice courage, you step into real communication. So let me ask you, do you have someone to practice English with regularly? If yes, how has it helped you? If no, what stops you from finding a partner or joining a community? Share your answer in the comments. You may discover that someone here is also looking for a partner. Think about this. Billionaires protect their networks because they understand that relationships are capital. Just as money grows when invested, knowledge and confidence grow when shared with others. Jeff Bezos built Amazon, but he needed thousands of employees, advisors, and partners to turn his vision into reality alone. His idea was just a dream. Together, it became history. In the same way, your English dream becomes stronger when you connect. Maybe you join an online group. Maybe you comment here and start conversations. Or maybe you simply reach out to one person a week in English. Each connection is like a brick, and together, they build a bridge to fluency. Here is something to reflect on. Many people feel shy to ask for help. But asking for help is not weakness. It is strategy. Billionaires ask for advice all the time. They pay for mentors. They listen to experts, and they are not afraid to say, "I do not know this yet, teach me." Imagine if you adopted the same courage in your English learning, what doors could open for you. Now pause and consider, if you had the chance to ask one question to a mentor who could guide your English journey, what would that question be? Write it in the comments. You may be surprised who responds. As we continue, remember this. Networks and mentors are not only about receiving, they are also about giving. The rich often share knowledge, invest in others, and build communities because they know success grows faster when shared. You too can give. Maybe you explain a word to another learner. Maybe you encourage someone who feels stuck. In giving, you strengthen your own learning. So far, we have uncovered vision, action, patience, resilience, focus, habits, mindset, and now community. Piece by piece, you can see the puzzle of wealth and growth forming clearly. And just as billionaires use these strategies to create fortune, you can use them to create fluency, confidence, and opportunity. In the next part, we will go deeper into risk-taking and innovation. Why do billionaires step into the unknown when others step back? And how can you apply the same courage to your English learning and to your life? That lesson is coming soon, and I promise it will challenge the way you see fear. Community gives us support, but there is another quality that sets billionaires apart, their relationship with risk. Where most people see danger, they see possibility. Where most step back, they step forward. This is the secret of risk-taking and innovation. Let us begin with Elon Musk. When he sold his first company, Zip2, he made millions. He could have retired comfortably, but instead, he took almost all his money and invested it into two risky dreams, Tesla and SpaceX. At one point, both companies were close to collapsing. He was weeks away from bankruptcy. Friends told him to stop. Experts said it was impossible, but Musk kept going. Why? Because he believed the future was worth the risk. Today, Tesla and SpaceX are global leaders. His story shows us that risk is not about being reckless. It is about being willing to step into the unknown when you believe in your vision. Now think about Jeff Bezos. When he left his stable job on Wall Street to start an online bookstore, people thought he was crazy. Who would buy books on the internet? They laughed. But Bezos asked himself a powerful question. Will I regret this decision when I am 80 years old? The answer was clear. He would regret not trying. That single question gave him the courage to take the risk. And from that risk came Amazon, one of the most influential companies in the world. Here is another example, one that is often forgotten. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, she started with $5,000 in savings and an idea for a new kind of women's clothing. No one believed in her. Manufacturers rejected her. Investors ignored her. But she took the risk anyway, and slowly, her idea grew into a billion-dollar company. Sarah once said, "Embrace what you don't know, especially in the beginning, because what you don't know can become your greatest asset." Her risk was not just financial, it was emotional. She risked rejection, embarrassment, and doubt. Now let us connect this to your own English journey. Speaking in English is also a form of risk. You risk making mistakes. You risk sounding different. You risk not being understood. But here is the truth. Without risk, there is no growth. Just like Musk risked his money, you risk your words. And just like Bezos risked his career, you risk your comfort. But every time you take the risk to speak, you move one step closer to fluency. Here is a question for you. What is one risk you are willing to take this week to improve your English? Maybe it is speaking with a stranger, joining a conversation, or recording your own voice. Write your answer in the comments. You may inspire someone else to take the same step. There is something else to notice. Billionaires do not take risks blindly. They prepare, they study, they make calculated decisions. Musk learned about rockets before starting SpaceX. Bezos studied the internet market before launching Amazon. Blakely tested her products and learned from failure. Risk, for them, is not a gamble. It is a choice informed by preparation. This is the same for you. If you prepare, risk becomes less frightening. If you study common phrases before speaking, you reduce the fear of mistakes. If you listen to English daily, you increase your confidence when real conversations happen. Preparation makes risk manageable. Now imagine this. You are standing in front of a group of people ready to speak English. Your heart is racing. You feel nervous. But you remember, billionaires also feel fear when they take risks. Fear is normal. The difference is this. They act anyway. And so let me ask you, when was the last time you took a risk in English, maybe in speaking, writing, or listening? How did it feel? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may encourage someone else to be brave. Risk and innovation go hand in hand. The rich take risks not just for money, but to create something new. Innovation is the reward of courage. And for you, the reward of risk is not only better English, it is a better version of yourself, a version that is more confident, more connected, and more alive. As we move forward, remember this. Risk is not the enemy. Fear is not the enemy. Inaction is the enemy. Billionaires know this truth, and so should you. In the next part, we will explore another hidden secret. Adaptability. The rich do not just take risks, they adapt when the world changes. They know how to bend without breaking, how to pivot when needed, and in your English journey, adaptability is just as important. Stay with me, because this lesson will show you how flexibility can become your greatest strength. Risk opens the door to opportunity. But what happens when the world changes faster than expected? Here is another secret of the rich. Adaptability. Success is not just about having one good idea. It is about staying flexible when the ground beneath you begins to shift. Take the story of Netflix. In the late 1990s, Netflix started as a DVD rental company. Customers ordered movies online, and the DVDs were mailed to their homes. For a time, it worked. But then, the internet became faster. People wanted to stream movies instantly. If Netflix had stayed with DVDs, it would have died. Instead, the company adapted. It shifted from DVDs to streaming, and later to producing its own shows. Today, Netflix is a giant in the entertainment industry. And its success came not from one idea, but from its ability to adapt when the world changed. Now let us look at Steve Jobs. After being fired from Apple, he adapted. He explored new ventures, learned from failure, and returned with new strength. When he came back to Apple, the company was struggling, but Jobs adapted the vision. Instead of focusing only on computers, he expanded into music with the iPod, into phones with the iPhone, and into entertainment with iTunes. Each step was a pivot, a change of direction that matched the times. Apple's survival and growth came from adaptability. Adaptability is not just for companies. It is for people. Think about Jack Ma. When he started Alibaba, e-commerce in China was new and full of challenges. Laws, technology, and consumer habits kept changing. Instead of resisting, he adapted to every wave. He adjusted his strategies, listened to the market, and kept moving forward. Here is the hook for you. Adaptability is not about giving up your dream. It is about finding new ways to reach it. A tree that bends in the wind does not break, it survives. A tree that refuses to bend often falls. Now, let us connect this to English learning. Some learners set a rigid plan. They say, I will only learn from this one book. I will only study grammar. I will not try speaking until I am perfect. This is like a tree that refuses to bend. Progress becomes slow and frustration grows. Others are flexible. When they get bored with a book, they switch to podcasts. When grammar feels heavy, they practice conversation. When they cannot find a teacher, they practice with friends, with apps, or even by talking to themselves. They adapt. And because they adapt, they keep moving. So here is a question for you. How do you adapt your learning when your plan does not work? Do you try something new? Or do you stop completely? Write your answer in the comments. I want to hear your strategy. Let us imagine two learners. The first one insists, I must learn 20 new words every day. For a week, it works, but soon life gets busy. They miss a day. Then two, then give up. The second learner says, I will learn 20 words when I can, but on busy days, I will learn 5, and if I cannot study at all, I will at least listen to English for 10 minutes. Who will improve more over time? The adaptable learner. Of course, this is the same principle billionaires use. Markets crash. Technology changes. Governments create new laws. The rich survive not because they are the smartest, but because they are flexible. They can bend without breaking. Adaptability also means accepting feedback. Billionaires listen to criticism even when it hurts. Jeff Bezos often says that customers are always dissatisfied and that dissatisfaction is a source of innovation. For English learners, feedback comes from teachers, from native speakers, even from mistakes. If you listen, you adapt. If you ignore, you stay stuck. So ask yourself, when someone corrects your English, how do you react? Do you feel embarrassed? Or do you see it as a gift? Share your honest answer in the comments. Adaptability is not weakness. It is strength. It is the ability to move with the flow of life while still holding on to your vision. The rich understand this truth, and so should you. In the next part, we will uncover another secret: persistence. Because even with vision, habits, mindset, networks, risk, and adaptability, success is impossible without the power to keep going. Billionaires face storms, failures, and doubts, but they rise again and again. And in language learning, persistence may be the single most important quality of all. Adaptability allows us to bend without breaking. But even flexibility is not enough without one more quality: Persistence? Persistence is the quiet, steady power that keeps billionaires moving forward when others give up. Let me tell you a story about Thomas Edison. He wanted to create the electric light bulb, but he failed more than 1,000 times. 1,000 times. People laughed at him, called him foolish, told him to stop. But Edison said, "I have not failed. I have simply found 1,000 ways that do not work." His persistence lit up the world. Think about Jack Ma again. Before founding Alibaba, he applied for dozens of jobs and was rejected every time. Even KFC rejected him when it opened in China. But he did not stop. He persisted, and today he is one of the most influential entrepreneurs in the world. Even J. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, faced 12 publishers who said no to her book. Imagine if she had stopped after rejection number 11. The world would never have known Harry Potter. But she persisted, and her story became a global phenomenon. Here is the hook for you. Persistence is not loud, but it is powerful. Success is not always about speed. Sometimes it is about who keeps walking while others stop. Now let us bring this into your English journey. Many learners start strong. They buy books, they watch videos, they study hard for a week or two. But when results do not come quickly, they stop. Fluency feels too far, mistakes feel too heavy, and their energy disappears. But here is the truth. Learning a language is not a sprint. It is a marathon. You do not need to be perfect today. You only need to keep going. Even 10 minutes a day, if repeated every day, becomes hours, then weeks, then years of practice. Over time, persistence turns into mastery. So let me ask you, how many times have you thought about quitting English? And what made you continue? Share your answer in the comments. Your story may give courage to someone else. Persistence also means accepting slow progress. Think of bamboo. For years, nothing seems to happen while it grows underground. But one day, it shoots up tall and strong almost overnight. Your English may feel the same. You may not see big changes for months, but if you persist, one day your fluency will surprise you and everyone around you. Here is another thought. Persistence is not only about pushing hard, it is also about returning after you fall. Billionaires are not successful because they never fail. They are successful because they return again and again. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Elon Musk was close to losing everything. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Yet all of them persisted. They did not let rejection write the final chapter of their story. In your case, maybe you forget a word during conversation. Maybe you cannot understand a movie without subtitles. Maybe you feel shy to speak. But if you come back, if you keep trying, if you refuse to stop, you will improve. Every small return is an act of persistence. Let us reflect. What is one small thing you can do every day to stay persistent in English? Is it reading a page? Listening to a podcast? Writing 3 sentences? Tell me in the comments. I would love to see your ideas. Remember this? Persistence is stronger than talent, stronger than intelligence, stronger than luck. Talent may start the race, but persistence finishes it. Intelligence may give quick results, but persistence gives lasting results. Luck may open the door, but persistence keeps you inside. The rich know this. And now, you know it too. In the next part, we will talk about one final secret that brings all the others together. Purpose, because persistence without purpose can become empty. But when you have a purpose, when you know why you are doing something, persistence becomes unstoppable. Stay with me, because this last lesson may change the way you see not only English, but also your life. We have traveled together through many secrets of the rich vision, action, patience, resilience, focus, habits, mindset, community, risk-taking, adaptability, and persistence. But now we come to the final secret, the one that gives meaning to all the others: purpose. Purpose is the fire behind persistence. It is the reason billionaires wake up early, work late, and continue even after success. Without purpose, money becomes empty. Without purpose, success feels shallow. But with purpose, every challenge becomes meaningful. Let me share a story about Elon Musk once more. He did not start SpaceX only to make money. His purpose was to make humanity a multi-planet species. That purpose was bigger than himself, and it gave him the courage to face failure after failure. Or think about Oprah Winfrey. Her purpose was not simply to become rich. Her purpose was to share stories, to give people hope, to use media as a tool for healing. Because of that purpose, she built an empire that touched millions of lives. Another example is Muhammad Yunus, founder of Grameen Bank. His purpose was to lift people out of poverty by giving them microloans. The banks laughed at him, but he persisted because his purpose was clear. His work changed millions of families and even won him the Nobel Peace Prize. Here is the hook for you. Purpose turns obstacles into stepping stones. Without purpose, challenges feel heavy. With purpose, they become fuel. Now let us connect this to your English learning. If your only reason to study English is to pass a test, your motivation may fade. If your purpose is shallow, your persistence will be weak. But if your purpose is deep, to connect with people around the world, to unlock better opportunities, to travel freely, to learn from books and ideas in English, then every challenge becomes worth it. So I ask you, what is your true purpose for learning English? Is it for your career, for your family, for your dreams? Write your answer in the comments. You may inspire someone who feels lost. Think of it like this. Purpose is like a compass. Even when the road is dark, the compass shows you the direction. You may walk slowly, you may stumble, but you never get lost. Many people stop learning English because they forget their purpose. They focus too much on mistakes, on grammar rules, on small frustrations. But if they return to their purpose to communicate, to grow, to expand their life, the small frustrations would feel lighter. Here is a reflection for you. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, speaking English with confidence. Imagine the opportunities, the friendships, the freedom. That vision is your purpose. Hold on to it. Let it guide you when the journey feels long. The rich know that wealth is not just money, it is impact. It is legacy. It is purpose. And you can live with the same principle. English is not only a language, it is a tool that can shape your future, connect you to the world, and give you a voice that is heard far beyond your borders. So here is my final question for you. When challenges come, when mistakes appear, when progress feels slow, will you return to your purpose and keep going? I hope your answer is yes. Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your story. And now, as we close this journey together, remember this. Success is built step by step. The rich follow strategies. But so can you. You have the same ability to dream, to act, to adapt, to persist, and to find purpose. Your journey with English is not just about language. It is about building the best version of yourself. Stay strong, stay persistent, stay connected to your purpose, And when you need guidance, return here to Native Flow English. Together, we will continue learning, growing, and unlocking the secrets not only of wealth, but of life itself. We have reached the final chapter of this journey together. Step by step, we uncovered the secrets of the rich. Vision, action, patience, resilience, focus, habits, mindset, community, risk-taking, adaptability, persistence, and purpose. Each one is a piece of the puzzle. Alone, they are powerful. Together, they form a complete map not just to wealth, but to growth, confidence, and a life of meaning. Think back for a moment. At the beginning, we asked, what makes the rich different? Now you know the answer. It is not only money, it is the way they think, the way they act, the way they face obstacles, and the way they stay true to their purpose. And these same principles can guide your English learning, your career, and your personal journey. Remember this, the rich are not superhuman. They are people who dared to dream, who dared to act, who dared to continue when others stopped. And you can do the same. Now, I want you to reflect. Which of these secrets speaks to you the most right now? Is it persistence? Because you are struggling to stay consistent. Is it adaptability? Because life keeps changing. Is it purpose? Because you need a reason to keep going. Share your answer in the comments. Your words may inspire someone who needs to hear exactly what you say. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. In the next videos, we will go deeper into stories, lessons, and exercises that will help you not only improve your English, but also expand your mind. Billionaires study strategies for wealth. You and I will study strategies for life through English, through stories, through practice. So stay curious, stay motivated, stay connected to Native Flow English, because every week there will be new lessons, new stories, and new opportunities for you to grow. And here is my final message for you today. Your future is not written yet. You hold the pen. You decide the story. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not fear mistakes. Begin now. Persist now, adapt now, speak now, because the secret of the rich and the secret of success is simple. Those who act win.